Hey everybody, this is the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and today in the Typical Manga Review we are going to be discussing Bleach Chapter 629, Gate of the Sun. And we open up with the Quincy pretty much using the first page to remove any possible doubt that there was any connection to Nazism, as if we had any, because Oswald is pretty much saying that it opens up with Yawg saying that this castle which holds the future is Warwelt. This castle which holds the future as what this shall be called from this day forth. And Oswald opens up with, in that case, nothing but total genocide will suffice.
You know, I have to think to myself, I get that Nazism is an unfortunate part of German history, but the fact that the Germans are being represented in this way, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't do that. You know,
well,
I don't want to.
We aren't doing it. Japan is, or at least.
Well, I mean,
Kubo
you know,
is.
I know, but I'm saying like the Bleach community, whatever, like Kubo specifically. But like, you know, what I'm saying like, I mean, we shouldn't in general, but like, it's like, I know I'm not one for political correctism all the time, but I feel like when the Iran cars were done, they weren't explicitly about like Franco or any Spanish dictator, you know. But the fact that we have Germans, and the first thing that we see of the German representation in this manga is Nazism, and this is so similar in so many other manga. You know, it's just kind of like again, I don't want to point the finger, but it's kind of like it's noticeable, and you just kind of think to yourself like, oh, I'm starting to see a trend here. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the uniforms are one thing. I mean, using the imagery to kind of invoke the emotion, that's one thing. But now they're just like, Kubo's not even pretending to try to be subtle.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the one thing that kind of tipped me off was when they showed the foot soldiers marching with the flags and them in like their uniform, just marching in line, and it's just kind of like that's the first thing you think of. Like, it's obviously intentional because that's what everyone else is thinking. Of course, now one thing is that now that I say that, I'm not going to say if you want to use Nazism, you shouldn't be afraid to do so, because the fact is it is a part of history, and it's a lot of people argue about whether or not to forget it. I am, most of Europe. Art would agree that it's best to remember these events. That way, we can't repeat them ever again.
From a writing standpoint, the main reason I would say don't use Nazis is because it's too easy. It'd be a cop out.
It is. Oh, no,
they're easy villains.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, these guys are just like, they're Quincy's, right? And the annoying part is that they're a supernatural entity that's somehow associated with something that's actually happened in history. So it's like Shinigami, right?
Not only that, but they're associated with something that actually happened in history that they predate by a good few centuries.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm just like, it's just kind of like, wow, you know, I feel like this is kind of like Shinigami, and then there's the Iran cars, and then there's the Quincy's. I mean, it's just that the Quincy's kind of like they are easy. You know, I forgot how you say it, but like they really, you can see them really easily. Like, you know,
right.
They speak out, or not speak out. They look really out of place. There we go. That's what I want to say.
Anyway, moving along from there, it's like we're back on the Shinigami, the Soul Reapers. They're marching out, but at some point Urahara notices that Mayuri Kurotsuchi has disappeared. He's not with them.
Yeah.
He's doing his own thing. Apparently he's let's see, what does that say? Like he just wants to go in and just explore at his own leisure.
Yeah, basically and research stuff. And then of course Kenpachi's right behind him, because apparently Kenpachi was taking a piss, and he realized that since everyone left except for Mayuri, he's like, oh, I'll just follow Mayuri. And then it turns out that not only that, but Kanataro and the Yumichika.
Yeah, Yumichika's the pretty boy.
Yeah. And I just keep
Madarami's the baldy.
Yeah, I know.
Yamada's the wimp.
No, I remember that. I forgot if you say Yumichika or Yumichaka, because I keep forgetting those two. But
Yumichika is how I think it is.
Okay, I think it's Chika. Yeah, Chika. Yeah, I know it's Kikaku and Hinataro. Yeah, so they're with him, and Kenpachi's a hell of excited to kill people as always. And then he gets into an argument with Mayuri, who thinks he's basically being like extra baggage. And there's this whole like angry look at face off they have. It's just kind of like, this is reminding me of the Byakuya Kenpachi thing from when they were facing Yami, and I'm just thinking to myself,
these two are going to be a fun combination to interact with, at least. There's that.
I have a question. The fact that I'm constantly being reminded of certain past events when certain new events happen in Bleach, for example, like this thing reminding me of Byakuya and Kenpachi, is the blame on the writer for being so damn so one-dimensional in his formula, or is it because I just have good enough memory that I've read the series for so long that anything he pulls at this point could easily be called back to in a previous arc.
Might be a little A and B on there. Like that, as long as it's not repeating himself within the same arc, I'm not really bothered by it. I mean, a formula is fine, and in this case, it's putting Kenpachi together with certain characters is going to invoke this kind of reaction no matter what.
I think so, but then you can argue that the Hueco Mundo arc, since it's a completely new arc, should be exempt from that, because the Hueco Mundo arc was literally Soul Society in every way. It was like a one-to-one copy. I think when you
that's repetitive. Like formula means you're doing the same thing just in different ways.
You're just changing the names. That's all you're doing, changing the designs. Mm-hmm. In the end, it's the same thing. I think when you do formulas, you gotta have a little of a turn,
more
a
of a
spin to it.
Yeah,
more of a mix-up.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've been listening to that podcast, The Thrilling Adventure Hour, and I actually have a good example in there. This one of the segments is the superhero thing, The Adventures of Captain Laserbeam, and every one of those episodes is pretty much exactly the same thing. They just they do just pretty much just change the names or change the jokes around a little bit, and maybe mix up a little bit. It's still funny, but it does get repetitive.
Yeah.
Other segments though at least mix it up a little more. But go ahead.
Oh, by the way, a little callback to what I was previously trying to get together about the Nazi thing.
Yeah.
I was saying that I was trying to say that it was standing out compared to the Shinigami and the Arankars and what they represent. The Shinigami represent the Japanese kind of thing.
Yeah.
Arankars represent Spanish, and Fullbringer is supposed to represent English. So apparently. But the thing is, because the Nazis is so horrible in history, no matter what the other guys were, the Nazis would always stand out no matter what. And I don't know if that... I get that's because the Quincy's are one of the biggest enemies. But again, it's just like, for a supernatural enemy and in a supernatural story, it just seems kind of out of place to do something like a Nazi symbolism or Nazi representation.
Yeah.
In any form. Because the thing about Hellsing is the Nazi vampires are legitimately Nazis. They're actually from World War II. They're actually from the Third Reich. These guys have no... Yeah.
Yeah, the Quincy are just like knockoff Nazis.
They're knockoffs. They have no actual relation. It's literally either by sheer coincidence or just... I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no legitimate way to close the loop on this one. It's just like... There's no explanation that can really suffice to really close the connection. But anyway, so moving on.
Yeah.
So we have a little banter between them two, and then Hanacho's just like, "Oh, do you have any comment on this?" And then then like, "Nope, no comment."
I don't think anything. And then we're back to Team Ichigo after that. They're pretty much
Team Useless, you mean?
Well, Ichigo does stuff.
Really? What has he done other than kill the Soul King?
He did that.
Yeah, but anything positive?
True. I mean, at the same time, though, like they are still moving along here. I said they've also realized that you can't create the footholds to flash jump like the other side did. In fact, Ichigo did the exact same thing Yushiro did. Only he's got plot armor, so there's no way he's gonna die from that.
Yeah, but then that's kind of annoying. Like, you have another waste of a page, literally a page of something that we already knew about.
Yeah, it's not really so much of a page in this case. Like maybe one panel of them moving, and then I mean, at the very least, it actually saves steps on here because it shows that they already know about it without having to actually go through all the steps for it like before.
True. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I would hate it when Ichigo actually did do the whole sequence.
Yeah, that we can complain more about that, but
okay, yeah, I'll let that go.
I do like this the next bit with Yoruichi. There's like, you and Yoshiro, you're birds of a feather. Must be nice living in your world. Wait a second, are you complimenting me or making fun of me? The fact that you're even asking me that question speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And Chad's having a sensible idea of trying and meet up with the other, so at the very least they can, since they can't do a pincer attack or surprise attack at this point, at least get together and work as one unit. Grimjo decides to be Leroy Jenkins and go on ahead, and they run into one of the elite Quincy's. What was this one again?
Askin. He's number D. He's letter D.
Is he the one that can change content?
He's the one who can't. Yeah, he can't die.
Oh, okay. Is he also the one that can? Okay, because there's also one that can mix up chemical doses or something. Is that also him?
I think that's him. That's him.
Okay.
I never really Yeah, I remember his ability had something to do with chemicals, but I didn't give a shit because
Yeah.
honestly, it's an asshole in either way. So,
Yeah. And
but yeah, it's Askin. It's the guy who initially met with Mayuri.
yeah, and he's like, he doesn't even get to finish complaining about the fact that he meets these guys before Grimjow attacks.
Yeah, whatever. He's still alive. It's not that big a deal.
Mhm.
He's a death. I mean, of all the elite guard, he's the one who normal attacks will never work on.
Yep. Meanwhile,
But yeah.
Basby and the ladies have come across something they call the Gate of the Sun that they're familiar with. And
my guess is it was like the normal entrance to the headquarters of Quincy's.
And they also recognize roughly where they are. Like the landscape's changed, but they've got a general idea of where to go, where they are, and where to go.
Yeah.
And at that point, they're gonna settle this thing with themselves with Ewok. Yeah, right. And it was Hoswald, which could happen.
Hashwell has okay. Here's another rule in Bleach: the emotionless guy is the stronger one and will always win. That is how it works.
Until he turns on his boss.
Yeah, it's just like if this is a bit tropey in shonen manga and anime, where the one who is emotionless tends to be stronger because they're supposed to represent like full-on seriousness, and it gets the audience really serious, so that's why they're stronger. But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like that this subplot here. I get that we want to explore the relationship between the Quincy's, but honestly, I don't see it any more than just them liking to like team kill each other all the time. Because honestly, like it even says like here, the whole thing with Basby and the girls getting pissed off at Ewok for betraying, quote unquote, betraying them. It was already established that this is what they do.
Yeah.
So it's just like I get that I get it was pointing out that they were newer, but I mean I think they have been there long enough to see, because we haven't been with the Quincy's that long either. I mean they've only been here for the last it's a long arc, but it's only been one arc, and we already know what they're capable of. And these guys were went through all that. Hell, the Basby trying to team kill the girls, and now they're like, oh, he betrayed us. I'm all pissed off now. I was like, I feel this is too inconsistent, he's trying to explain it by saying they're newer and therefore didn't understand the full scope of Box's, like, I like to kill everyone who's on my team. Yeah, but I was gonna say team killing us, but that would be weird. But yeah, I mean, it's just I don't think it's just like they've experienced the stuff that we've experienced, as well as probably a little more, and yet they don't understand that Box is like that.
I think the difference here is that now it's happened to them.
See, but that's the thing. It's just like, but the weird part is that with people like Colonel Sanders, the N, and some of the other guys, they were happy to die by Bach. And again, these guys saw that, so they would probably realize that it could have easily happened to them. I just feel that would just make it's just too short-sighted, for guys who are so powerful and so I guess who are so like they're always one step ahead of everyone. That just seems a little too far-fetched to me, at least, from what I can see.
Yeah. Like I said, it does seem getting consistent. Maybe we'll get some more on this when they actually come face-to-face, or we'll at least have more to complain about.
Yeah.
Meantime, like I said, this has been something of a point A to B type chapter, but at least they are actually kind of moving along here now. Like, we're actually getting some setup for what's to come. Yeah,
but regarding Askin, though, I mean, now you have Nell, Grimjaw, and the entire Team Ichigo facing against him. I mean, this is. I know that they're probably gonna. Askin's probably have a little plot armor because he's probably gonna be like he's an elite guard, so that means that he's gonna have a little plot armor to last him a few chapters. Longer than probably the average Quincy's. But the fact is, the one thing is already against him. One is that he's already revealed his ability. So by the way Cooper writes, it means it takes off at like 3 or 4 chapters. At the same time, him being killed off too quickly because he's an elite guard is also not an option. But that you have so many different, you have different people in this group that is either gonna have to split up, or if they go at him at once, it's just gonna seem, I don't know, like not even Oda would do that. Oda at least splits them up.
I can see Grimjow forcing, like, making them, like, telling something like, I'm gonna take this guy myself, and then use that to show off his abilities a little bit, or Nell will jump in.
Maybe they might do the whole I'll stay behind type of thing.
Or just as my fight, stay out of it. I'm gonna fight it myself. Yeah,
but then again, the issues, the problem it brings back to is that, how about the other guys? All the other Shinigami. Who are they gonna do? Who are they gonna fight against? Because there's just too many good, quote unquote, good guys, as well as the Quincy's who are against the Hashwell. I mean, they're probably gonna lose, but even then, it's just there's too many good guys. to really make it interesting. You know,
too many characters is kind of one of Bleach's bigger weaknesses for me personally. It's just like they introduce so many characters so fast that you just don't care.
Yeah.
About maybe one or two of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's like, but at the very least, like I said, we'll see how it goes here. Because like I said, next week we should start seeing a little bit of work with Grimjo and asking you what his name was. Yeah, letter D.
Most people are actually predicting that Grimjaw has unlocked Segunda Etapa, which is like Ulquiorra.
Okay, so he'll have like a power. But we could probably presume the same thing applied to Nell.
Nell probably not, because she hasn't trained since then at all.
Yeah, true.
So arguably she's gotten worse. In fact, they even said like her not training and being away from the Espada made her worse. So if Kubo sticks with the same logic, which I don't expect him to, but if he does, Nell would be the same if not worse. So she, no,
still, she was no slouch in her own arc. So at least that means she's got a opportunity to at least off a little bit. I hope.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. But I just hope she doesn't get she doesn't get cut off like she did.
Short chains.
Yeah, short chains. There we go. That's what I'm thinking of. Short chains, like she did against Noritora.
Well, I expect that to happen just because she's got this bracelet that keeps her in her.
Well, I know, but not that quickly. You know, at least have her win a fight before it happens. You know, because she didn't even win a fight. That's the thing. The fight, that was her first fight, and she didn't even get to finish it. At least have her kill someone, then do that. You know.
I can see that, sure. Yeah, and then we'll probably see who the Shinigami teams are going to be fighting next week.
Yeah.
Got 2 groups of them, 2 more of the elites.
Yeah.
We'll probably see how that goes. But in the meantime, was there anything else, or?
No.
Okay, that's been our review then of, I said, in this case, the discussion kind of took place during the summary, more or less, but that's been our review of Chapter 629 of Bleach. Stay tuned for the rest of our lineup this week. Inside Mari, One Piece, and Naruto.
Bye!